All right. 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 We are live to rank 79 movies. The 79 2023 movies I have seen. This is going to be kind of a long one. I've seen 79 movies this year. Seen a lot of movies. Compared to last year, 2022, let me find my 2022 ranking on Letterbox. That's what I always use for my notes, by the way. 2022. 2020. 2020, I only saw 24 films. That's crazy. My first year being a critic, I only saw 24 films, and now I'm up to 79 this year, and that's crazy. I've only seen 49 movies in 2020. No, wait, that's 2021. Where the heck is 2022? Give me a minute. There we go. I've seen 52 movies in 2022. Compared to that, I've seen about 20 more, even more than 20. So, bear with me. It's 11:14 in the morning. I literally just woke up. Um, just so we have a clear understanding of how this is going to work. The bottom 13, gonna kind of rush through. I have a whole video on my channel. Go check out my worst 13 movies of 2023. Right now, I am editing my top 20 movies, so we're gonna kind of rush through the top 20. And the comic book movies, we're just gonna kind of go a little faster too, because I'm gonna have a video of that. The rest of it, I will kind of also go just a little quicker. So I don't want to be sitting here for 6 hours today. I got stuff to do today, so it's the only day I could do the live stream. It is the 16th, so it's kind of crazy that it's been 16 days. I need to get this live stream out, and I finally have the perfect opportunity to do it right now, right this way. So with that said, I know nobody's watching right now, but y'all can always go down in the comment section, leave me questions, and I'll answer them. I'm gonna do 20 movies at a time, and then I'll take a break, just so I can refresh my brain just a little bit. So yeah, just let me know. And with that said, let's get started. My least favorite movie of 2023 has to go to Insidious: The Red Door. Now, hold on. I had a hair in my mouth. So, Insidious: The Red Door was this movie that just I was not really excited for, because I saw the first two Insidious movies a week before I saw this movie, and I really loved the first one. Thought the second one was okay. Same bro, I feel you. Cool. I'm gonna try not to read the comments until later on. But anyways, going back. So I like the franchise. I thought the second movie had the perfect ending, and then Insidious: The Red Door just kind of reversed that ending and completely blew it all open, and it completely sucked, and just kind of ruined the perfect ending that I thought the second movie had, to where it just can kind of get offensive in that way, to where I was very disappointed in this movie. Patrick Wilson's directorial debut kind of just went down the drain for me. The movie wasn't that good. And this is a surprising one. A lot of you are going to be shocked on this one. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is 78. Um, yeah, this movie, first two acts I thought were a fine Ant-Man movie, and then the third act kind of just went way down the drain. We had MODOK's character arc, which was Cassie saying, "Don't be a dick," and he's like, "Oh, I can do that? Cool." And then he's a hero now. That's stupid in of itself. But then the way you kill Kang, your big bad guy, the guy that's going to be the new threat for the entire MCU, and is going to kill everybody in the MCU, you kill him off by having a couple ants chew on his gear, and then he's gone. He's going to destroy the whole MCU, and that's how you do it. It's lazy. It's stupid. The writers were smoking crack in the writers' room. That's how bad this was. And I don't feel bad for putting this movie all the way down in the bottom three. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey caps out our bottom three. This movie, it's just a bad horror movie in general. The cast feels like very stale. They're terrible. The kills aren't memorable. There's one kill where they're about to throw them in a wood chipper, and they just smash their head on the thing, and then just fake CGI blood goes out. It's horrible. It looks horrible. And then, like, there's the same scene, just oh, guys, we're a horror movie. We got to see titties. And they grab a shirt off and rip the shirt off. And I was just like, oh, come on, you don't need to do this. It is just flat out stupid and just a bad horror movie in general. The thing about this one is so low, though, because I thought it was kind of disturbing just a little bit. But the main reason why it was so low is because people on YouTube criticized the movie fairly, said it was a bad movie. And they did the Fandango thing to where you have to pay $20 for one ticket. And they called him out for that. And then they went on the internet and kind of blocked them, started acting like little children, holding a grudge against them, crying like little babies about it, and then kind of turning the whole internet against one of my fellow critics, Cody Leach. Well, not one of my fellow critics because I don't know him, but I mean, we're both critics. But it's just stupid and terrible of a company to do that. So it's just a bad movie. Spy Kids Armageddon is next. I used to like the Spy Kids movies. I'm pretty sure. Hey, DeGoats, did you ever watch Spy Kids movies? I bet you did, huh? Yeah. But I wasn't looking forward to this new one. I knew it would suck, but I sat down and watched it, and it was boring. The whole movie. The movie was just boring and also kind of offensive. Like, the whole plot of the movie is this girl's like, yeah, I did. Yeah. What's your favorite one, to goats? What's your favorite one? Don't watch Spy Kids Armageddon. It's a bad movie. It's terrible. Anyways, the little girl's just like, yeah, let's do peace. This guy tried to kill my freaking family. Let's solve it with peace. And that's what they did. And the whole thing's about peace. And it's just kind of a woke movie. I don't like using the phrase woke a lot, but it's a woke movie. It's just, it makes no sense why that would be the thing. It's supposed to show you that peace is good, which is a good message. I didn't like any of that. That's fair. It's fair. I just used to watch them as a kid, so I mean, but it's just a horrible message for, like, it's supposed to be a good message, but it just doesn't execute it well, and it executes like it's woke. We Have a Ghost is next, as a Netflix movie directed by Christopher Landon. It feels like Netflix is just like, here, Chris, do whatever you want. We don't care. And that's exactly what he did. He made a movie that the plot lines make no sense. You made a movie that you cast David Harbour in to where he can't talk. You make a movie to where kids drive around in a cop car, probably kill a couple cops, and the only thing the cops do is, here's your children back. We don't care what they did. It is stupid. There's no thought into it. One of the big character arcs that completely reverses the movie around is the person that was hunting the ghost all of a sudden lets the ghost go free, and nobody knows why. It's just a stupid movie, and I don't know what went wrong. I don't know if Netflix threw it at him or if Netflix was telling him exactly what to do, but Netflix does that quite a bit. So 65 is next. We are done with 5 movies. This is 6. 65 is next. This is a Adam Driver fights dinosaurs movie. How can this be bad? And the first act was pretty fun, but then the second act you get stuck in a cave. And you're stuck in a cave for the rest of the movie until you get to the big final battle with the T-Rex, and it's just not interesting. It's just kind of boring, and it completely reverses everything that I enjoyed about the first act. It's just kind of a waste. The Outlaws is next. This is a Netflix movie that stars Pierce Brosnan, and it's about your in-laws are outlaws. Kind of self-explanatory. I normally dig these type of Netflix movies to where they're just fun movies. They're memorable. They're memorable in a way. They have a big cast. They have a stupid, low-budget plot, but it's just fun, and they're funny normally at the time. This movie, within the first 3 seconds of the movie, he's humping the air, talking about banging his wife, and then a couple scenes later, he's talking about having sex with his wife when his parents are standing right behind him. That's the main core of humor is, I have a wife and I can have sex. That's the main course of humor, and it's not funny. It's just not a funny movie. And so typically I would have probably dug this movie, but what the freak? Yeah, I agree. It's just not funny at all. I didn't laugh once during the entire movie. Megan is next. It's a killer doll movie. Well, the first movie I saw this year, and it's still way down here because it's just like the first 2 acts is just the kind of horror movie I don't like. Oh, kids walking around. Oh, we're looking everywhere. Oh, there's something over there. Oh no, it's a reverse. Oh, it's something over there. No. Oh, I'm scared. And then jump scare. That's what the first 2 acts were. And I was like, I want a killer doll movie. I want the killer doll to go off and start killing people. And when the killer doll went off and started killing people, it was fun. But I never felt like any of it was earned because the first 2 acts was just another basic horror movie to where I just wasn't entertained for the majority of the movie. Sisu is next. This is a movie that kind of described as Finished John Wick. And you can call this John Wick because it is 100,000% a John Wick ripoff. From the beginning to the end, a character runs into some people. These people take something that he likes. he goes off crazy on them. They have a big backstory to where, here, this guy's like a Baba Yaga. He's going to kill you because he's such a great, and he's got this whole lore. And it's just, it's a copy and paste. I had fun with the last scene. That's about it. I was just kind of bored through the entire movie because I was like, oh, I've seen this before. It's John Wick. So I really wasn't into this one. Pet Sematary Bloodlines rounds out our bottom 10, I think. Hold on. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that rounds out our bottom 10. So Pet Sematary Bloodlines, not it's a movie that I feel like could have been fun. It just could have been fun, but for a prequel to Pet Sematary, it just did not work whatsoever. It feels like they just made another movie. They didn't do anything special or fun that they could have done about this movie. And so Pet Sematary Bloodline is just kind of a basic movie to me. I don't know what I'm saying because I've never seen a Pet Sematary movie, but it's just what it felt like. And if a newcomer feels that, you did something wrong. All right, out of the bottom 10, we got, well, these 3 other movies are awesome movies I mentioned in the video. Peter Pan and Wendy. It's a fun swashbuckling adventure at times, but the character arcs are absolutely horrible. Like, Wendy, at the beginning of the movie, gets mad at her parents because they tell her to grow up when she broke something that was probably really expensive. Peter Pan's character arc is he steals children and won't let them go back to their families. The only person you're rooting for in this movie is Captain Hook, the bad guy. It just doesn't work. The character arcs kind of ruins the movie. Rebel Moon, Part 1, A Child of Fire. It is Zack Snyder's new movie. Looking forward to this one. And the first act I thought was fun. The rest of the movie, I was like, oh, okay. It feels like Netflix was, and this is true, Netflix was like, yeah, you're going to make a rated R cut. Just make a movie. And it feels like no thought or no heart was into this one. The characters that we spend all movie going to find, they have no payoff. There's nothing that pays off in the end of the movie to where you're just sitting there like, why doesn't this pay off? This should be a smart payoff. This should be something that makes me like, oh, I really like that. But there's just nothing there, and it just feels like no thought was at all. Napoleon rounds out what we did in that video. It's just boring. Like, I found some scenes interesting. I was interested, but when you had me and my dad walk out of the movie, he's like, that was boring. Kind of glad that's over. You did something wrong, especially the battle scenes. The battle scenes didn't do anything special. It was just people riding around, and I had no idea what was happening. I was kind of happy when the movie ended just a little bit. All right, shying away from the bottom 13, what I did in this video, here's some movies that I haven't talked about in quite a while. The Retirement Plan. I've never talked about this one on my channel at all. It's a Nicolas Cage movie where he's this old guy, and he goes take down bad guys because his daughter's in trouble, and it doesn't work for me. I thought Nicolas Cage was fun. He was pretty funny. That's probably the only positive. Because for an action movie, you got to believe that these old guys are taking down these younger men, and you don't. It's just like, these younger men could have easily taken them down, and then they're just like, oh, okay, cool. It's a movie that, I know it's just a low-budget Nicolas Cage movie, but it doesn't have any thought. There's a scene where a car rides into a gate and smashes in the gate and keeps going, but the wheels aren't turning. It just does not look good. And I get it's a low-budget movie. It just, the way it was executed doesn't work for me. Spider-Man Lotus. This is a fan film about Spider-Man, and this is complicated for me because the movie would make a really good first act to The Amazing Spider-Man 3. You lost Gwen. You're grieving. You don't know if you want to be Spider-Man anymore. I think that could be an interesting first act to Amazing Spider-Man 3. Does that mean I liked sitting down watching 2 full hours of Spider-Man crying about his dead girlfriend the whole movie? No, it could have executed it better. I sat there kind of bored. Like, there was an hour and a half at the hour and a half mark, you completed all the character arcs. You still have 45 minutes left in the movie. So sitting there going, oh, I'm so sad, and you have all these boring scenes of just sitting there doing the same thing over and over again. I was like, you could have done that better. You could have done that just a little better. Next up, Shazam! Fury of the Gods. This is the Shazam sequel, and I felt like it was just kind of basic. I felt that it was fun the first 2 acts, but third act, just another CGI battle. It doesn't do anything special. The comic book movies that are way up here on my list are stuff that did something special with that third act. Blue Beetle had a cool third act. Spider-Man Across Spider-Verse had a great third act. The Flash had a great third act. It wasn't just a big CGI battle where we're gonna fight people. That's what this was. And the dinosaur part was cool, but it's just another big CGI battle that kind of got me bored just a little bit. Your Place or Mine. This is a romance movie on Netflix that typically when January comes around, this is always Blue Beetle was a great movie. I agree. It's in my top 7. So you'll see that here in a little bit. But Your Place or Mine is a romance movie on Netflix that January comes around. I don't really watch a lot of new releases, obviously. Actually, I try to watch new releases, just some stupid new releases. So typically I wouldn't watch this movie, but it was in January. So Your Place or Mine, I thought it was fine. It's not really memorable. I laughed at a couple parts here and there, but I didn't think the romance worked at all. I feel like if they were better off friends, I think that would be better. Kind of just shoehorn a romance in there, but I thought it was fine. It was fine. It's only down here because it's not that memorable. Sick. This is a slasher from Kevin Williamson, and I don't know if I probably should rewatch this one because kind of the way I watched it was I woke up super early at like 6 o'clock, watched John Wick Chapter 3, and watched this movie, and I was just kind of tired the whole movie, and so I was in and out of sleep. So I probably should have rewatched this one before including it on my ranking. I thought it was fun slasher movie for what I watched of it, but I can't really talk more about this one without rewatching it. I probably should have done that before I did this ranking, but I thought it was a fun horror movie. There's some memorable kills there, stuff that I do remember about this movie. I thought was fine. The Exorcist Believer, and I know, I'm a Christian, probably shouldn't have watched the Exorcist movie, but the first act or the first hour of the movie actually, I thought was pretty good. I was like, I believe this son and daughter. I thought they had a good chemistry. I was kind of sad when something bad happened. And then you get overly preachy to where you get Ellen Bernstein in the movie, where Ellen Bernstein didn't want to be in this movie. And you freaking have her get stabbed in the eyes. And then boom, yeah, she's stabbed in the eyes. She's out of the movie for 5 minutes. It's offensive. And then the whole movie, you go preachy. You're just like, oh, evil one. Yeah, it's clearly directed by what's his name? What's the director's name again? David Gordon Green, right? Yeah, it's David Gordon Green. He's just always like, evil dies, yeah. And then there's a whole part where the priest is like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. The Catholic Church says I can, but you're a powerful woman, so you could do it, woman, because you're powerful. And it's just so overly preachy, trying to shoehorn all these messages in there that don't really work whatsoever. I thought the final couple minutes were really creepy, and the way that they completely reverse on who dies, I thought was pretty good. But overall, the movie just kind of got a little preachy, and I enjoyed some parts of it. You can't just go preach to me for an hour and a half on your horror movie. 80 for Brady. This is a old grandma football movie where all these old grandmas go watch Brady's amazing comeback in the Super Bowl where he beat the Falcons. I hate Tom Brady. I'm just going to say Patrick Mahomes is a GOAT. D Goats is going to agree with me down in the comments. Ain't that right? But 80 for Brady, it was just fine. It was a fun movie. I laughed sometimes. I enjoyed myself. It's a feel-good movie to where by the end of the movie, you're just like, yeah, that was fine. It's a fun movie. Not necessarily anything I'll ever watch again, but never does anything bad, never does anything offensive. I thought it was just a fun movie. Murder Mystery 2, Adam Sandler movie. This is a step down from the first. I don't think any of the characters were as memorable. I don't think the twist was as memorable. I don't think it was as funny, but I still think it was a fun movie. Murder Mystery 2. Murder Mystery 1 was just a fun movie. This one kind of captured the vibe of continuing to have just a fun vibe. Adam Sandler is pretty funny. There's some cool, intriguing ideas. Thought the third act was pretty fun. It felt kind of exhausting, but Mahomo and the refs are going to Buffalo, and Drew Brees is go. Drew Brees? Drew Brees? Where the heck did he come from? No. Oh, what's it? Joe Montana could be the greatest of all time. But I thought it was just a fun movie. It's not as good as the first one, but it's fun. Barbie. I'm going to get yelled at for some women on this one. Barbie is, I wasn't the biggest fan of Barbie. I thought it was rewatchable. Thought some parts were good, but overall, it's just way too preachy. When one of the very first things in your movie is a woman saying, "I'm a woman, so I could do anything a man can." It's just kind of okay, whatever. Go in the kitchen and make me a sandwich. because you can't do that. But it's just kind of just like it's just really preachy by the end to where the whole climax is a character monologuing to all the other Barbies. You're a woman. You don't need no man in your life. Yeah, and I'm just like, this is just stupid. It's rewatchable. It's fun. It's way too preachy for me. Let me count how many movies I did already. I probably should keep track of this. So that was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, let's do one more, and then I'm going to go to make me a sandwich. I know, right? Like, it's 11:33. I woke up like 20 minutes and 45 seconds ago. And I'm really hungry, so I'll probably grab a snack too while I'm going on the break and grabbing a drink and a snack and bringing it in here. But the last movie we're going to talk about before I do the first break, Good Burger 2. Big fan of Good Burger. Big fan of the original Good Burger. This movie was just kind of like a basic Nickelodeon movie. You've seen this on Nickelodeon 14,022 times. You can sit down and watch it and be like, yeah, I've seen this before. It's funny. I really like Kel Mitchell. I still think he's got the magic his head. I think that part was funny. But the movie's just so predictable. I fell asleep for 5 minutes. My brother woke me up and I'm like, do you want me to rewind it? I'm like, no, I know what happened. I know exactly what happened. I was right to the T, too. It's just kind of a basic movie and kind of sucks for that, but I still thought it was funny at times. All right. Good Burger was good till the last couple scenes. The first one or the second one? All right, I'm going to go grab a water, maybe grab a Nutri-Grain bar or something, and then if you got any questions about my YouTube channel and about any movies or anything, I'll probably read a couple comments too if you leave them. So, yeah, and then we're going to do, that's 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, wow. This video shouldn't be 3 hours. I thought this video would be around 3 hours long. We're moving at a nice pace. You seen Good Burger 2? Yeah. Good Burger 2 is just kind of basic for me. All right, I'll be right back. We're moving at a really nice pace. This is only be like half video then. That's surprising. I've seen 79 movies this year. I'll be right back. What you barking at, boy? Guess who's back? It's your boy. That's right, it's me. I got 2 viewers now. Let's go. All right, viewer, tell me what's up. All right, so I don't have any bars, but I did have a gummy pickle. So I'm gonna eat a gummy pickle. All right, questions for me? Any of the 2 viewers? Real quick, we're only gonna spend a little bit of time on this. Snap it to a Slim Jim. Straight bussin'. Gummy pickles are straight bussin'. Technically my brother's, but he said I can have them, so I don't care. They're really good. Straight bussin', yo. Bussin' tussin', yo. Look at how good that looks. I'm sorry, I'm being weird. I've only eaten one of these. Are these sour? It smells sour. Oh my god, there goes my drink. That's why we have lids. I'm just gonna keep my drink over there. It just don't taste like nothing. All right. I'll go 2 more minutes if anybody has any questions. This genuinely does not taste like anything, by the way. Then we'll go from, we did 20 and there's 79, 69. It's green apple. Yeah, you're right. It is. I saw it on the package. So we're on 59 right now. So we'll go from 59 to 39. What's my Super Bowl predictions? I'm actually gonna have a video of that on my second channel, my whole playoff predictions. I haven't edited it yet, but it's coming out. Ravens versus I don't know. Ravens versus I can't tell because the Texans went off against the Browns and the Browns were clearly supposed to win that game, and the Packers went off against the Cowboys and the Cowboys were clearly start to win that game. I don't think I can predict it anymore because I don't know what's going to happen this next week in the divisional round. I would not put it past CJ Stroud to beat the Ravens, and I would not put it past Texans versus Packers. I think that would be a good Super Bowl. No, but even better, Chiefs versus Packers, Hey, you know who didn't make the playoffs, Joe? The Jags. Because they suck. These really aren't that good. I used to like them. For some reason, I don't think this one's very good. My dog's going off in the next room. Chiefs are dookie, and we actually have a division. That's true. The Chiefs division is pretty bad. Remember 2 years ago when they said that the division would be a tough division? I do. All right. One more drink, and then we're getting back into it. My other viewer left. That's sad. Champions is number 59. Yes, that's right. This is a Woody Harrelson movie about Woody Harrelson training some special needs kids and playing basketball, and I thought it was fun. I thought it ran a bit long. They could have cut some scenes out. It could be funny sometimes. Woody Harrelson is a good actor. Thought it was fun, heartwarming, and just fine to begin with. Of course, you could have cut some scenes out, but I still thought it was a fun movie to sit down. I was really sick. That might have also impacted my enjoyment, but it's just a fun, feel-good movie. The Marvels is 58. I know a lot of you hate or like The Marvels. I thought it was good. I thought it was a fine movie. Did you ever see The Marvels as a new Captain Marvel movie? For me, there's 2 things I did not like. I did not like Captain Marvel at all in this movie. I thought her character arc was horrible, and I thought she was treated just like she was treating everybody around her like a complete dirtbag. Hair in my mouth again. Sucks having German shepherds. And the other thing I didn't like the very ending. No, you haven't. Yeah, I didn't think you did. But the very ending, kind of where they left things off, I wasn't the big fan of it. Like, spoilers, the goats, if you want to see it, you can just pause it and then skip to live here in like 15, 20 seconds. But the way that this worked was Monica Rambeau goes into the space thing. They think she's dead. And so what do? They move the Kamala Khans into her house, and it's just kind of stupid in that way. The rest of the movie was fun. It was fun. It was fine. Kamala Khan, Aman Vivani was really fun, and some of the action was fun. So I wasn't offended by this movie. I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was just a fun movie. Shotgun Wedding. Now, The Marvels is not anywhere compared to other MCU movies. People have told me that I think that it compares to the top MCU movies. I do not. I think it's just a fine movie compared to what they've been lately. Shotgun Wedding. It's a new movie with Jennifer Lawrence, right? J Lo, or that'd be J Lopez. Yeah, Jennifer Lopez, not Lawrence. It's a movie with Jennifer Lopez and Josh Duhamel. And I think this movie could have been awesome because Ryan Reynolds was supposed to do Josh Duhamel spot, but I thought it was fine. I really like the subgenre. People are on vacation or something. Bad guy. It's kind of like a Die Hard movie. Bad guys do it, and people got to take them down. Violent Night was another movie that did it. This is the Santa Claus movie from 2022, and that's been one of my favorite movies of the year. I think these movies are just fun and a blast, and I really did enjoy this one. I still thought this one was fun. Creed 3. First two acts, some of the best. And I think some of the best Creed things in the franchise. I think this could have been the best Creed movie. I really like Creed 2. That's still my favorite Rocky movie. But Creed 3 could have been the best Creed movie. And then the third act just kind of like, from the moment you're going to find him, goes, oh, we're going to do a training sequence. That takes like 30 seconds. And then, oh, we're on to the fight. And then fight is really quick. And then the movie's over because he won. And that's just how fast the movie goes. I was like, whoa, okay, slow down there, bucko. You're feeling like you're missing some scenes here. And it definitely missing some scenes there. So if you slow down the third act, I think it would have worked. But this, I still think the first two acts were some really good Creed stuff. They cloned Tyrone. This is a Netflix movie starring, it's got a good cast, and the cast was the best part of this movie, 100%. It stars John Boyega, Teyonah Parris, and Jamie Foxx as the top three, and they had a great chemistry with each other. It was pretty fun. I think that there's some unique ideas here. Thing is, the movie's just kind of like, it's either goes, oh, this is really interesting, or you're just like, what is actually happening? What is happening? My mind cannot wrap around this. And it's just kind of the way the movie goes, was that the story was kind of clunky and the pacing was kind of weird. I still thought it was a fun movie, though, and it was fine. Again, another movie I watched when I was 6, so that could have also impacted it. A Haunting in Venice. This is the brand new Hercule Poirot mystery. I liked the Murder on the Orient Express. That's what it was called. I never got around to watching Death on the Nile. I will because I'm doing a ranking soon of these 3 movies. This movie, I thought the first act was kind of rushed. I was like, this is kind of stupid. When we got to the mystery, it's another solid mystery. I was intrigued. I wanted to know who done it. I was interested in the murder and who did it. And every time another plotline came, you were like, oh, that's kind of cool. My brother and dad thought the movie was boring until the very end. For me and my mom, we like mystery movies like this, and we were intrigued. And I thought the reveals at the end kind of worked. Again, the thing that this franchise can do is evoke emotions out of you because of who killed him. And I think that really works. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. This is a newest Aquaman movie. I've never done a review for this. I don't think I will still do a review for this. I was going to do Rebel Moon, Aquaman Lost Kingdom, and Night Swim, but kind of really behind on videos for that one. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, however, I thought this movie was bad in every best possible way. It just takes itself way too seriously while also being this goofy vibe. It knows what it is. It's like, it takes itself way too seriously, but it also doesn't, if that makes any sense. It's fun. Did you see Aquaman and Lost Kingdom? I don't know. But I thought that a lot of things worked. The action chemistry is still good. The villain's still fine. Thought it was a funny movie. The chemistry between Aquaman and Orm was fun. My dad fell asleep during the movie. My mother walked out of the theater, said she hated it. Me and my brother said it was fun. I thought it was a fun movie. Amber Heard, or Amber Turd, I'm sorry. It's really funny for Amber Turd because she walked up to this guy. No, you haven't? Okay. Well, that was for the Marvels, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. I'm just going to read that one as well. Anyways, she walks up to the guy who literally is about to die trying to save her child. She's like, where is my child? And I'm just like, okay. It was just a goofy, fun movie. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Christmas Cabin Fever. This is a surprising one for me. This is really surprising by how much I thought this one was just charming and enjoyable. I don't like these animation movies. I thought Project Rules. No, I haven't seen that either. Okay. I thought Project Rules was cringy, but I thought it had a good message at the end. The first movie is just shameless, terrible movie. This movie, I thought it was just a fun movie. It's a Christmas movie, and it captures the vibe of Christmas. It's easily the best out of these movies, to where you get all the middle school mayhem, you get all that, but you just got a fun Christmas vibe, and kind of the movie that actually got me in the Christmas vibe this year. This is the first Christmas movie I saw, and it got me into that vibe. So, I mean, what can I say? If a movie gets you in the Christmas vibe, that's a good thing. Elemental, it's a Pixar movie. I need a drink. Yeah, that's where we're ending. Okay, I know where we're ending on this section. Elemental. This is the newest Pixar movie. I thought it was fine. It was fun. My brother gave up on it halfway. He did not like it. But I thought it was fun. I thought the two leads had a nice bat. The main thing here, though, is I don't know if this will appeal to the normal audience. Elf is the best Christmas movie. Dang straight, brother. Dang straight. Elf is hilarious. My mother would also agree with you on that one. But Elemental, it's interesting because, number one, a lot of people haven't really loved Turning Red or Lightyear when I love those movies. So I still have stuck with Pixar for a long time. This is the one movie be like, yeah, that's good, but I don't love it. I can see where people have their complaints towards it. And part of the thing is, because it's a romance movie, because it's a movie about romance, it just doesn't appeal to most of the audience. Like, what kind of little kid is going to go to a movie and say, I'm excited about the movie where the fire and water fall in love? Nobody. Like, a movie like Turning Red, it's got some mature themes that I'm not really fond of, but it's got a nice story to it. A movie like Lightyear, people will fall in love with it. This movie is just kind of just like a romance story, and I don't see what this movie was made for. I enjoyed it, though. The Nun 2. This is a brand new Conjuring movie that I really, really, really did dig. Hold on, how many movies did we do? It's 4, 8. Okay, so... Okay, yeah. All right, I'm just making sure that I know when to stop, because you gotta go to the bathroom, but I'll hold it. The Nun 2, I thought this was fine. First act really kind of set up the Nun to like, oh, that's creepy, okay. The second act, same thing, kind of like Megan. Oh, where are you? Where are you? Oh, I don't see you. Ow, there you are. And it's just kind of like that kind of jump scares over and over again that kind of got me bored. Third act really, really worked. Or it was like, oh, that's creepy. Oh, that is cool. And when you kill the nun, it kind of works better. The first Nun movie, I'm like, that's fine. I thought it was fine, but you don't really feel any payoff. This movie got the payoff. And for the first and third act, that proves why this movie, I think, is better than the first Nun movie. Scream 6 is next. And, I got some thoughts on this one. Scream 6, for me, is a movie that I was just like, I liked it. I thought it was fun. It's one of the worst Scream movies, but I still liked it. I still give it a positive score. But you gotta kill off some characters. It's a slasher movie, and the main thing you do here is make sure all your characters survive. You get what's it called? You get all the characters, and then the Ghostface comes up and stabs one of them 6 times. Oh, but he's alive at the end of the movie. You get the Ghostface character, walk up, stabs another person a couple times. Oh, but they're alive at the end of the movie. Like, you just don't kill anybody off, so you don't feel like there's any stakes. I still thought there were some cool things. If you killed some people off, I would say that this is one of the best Scream movies because there's some cool things right. But you don't kill anybody off, so there's no stakes whatsoever. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, another hot take. For me, what number am I on all 79 movies? So let's see. Let me count real quick. So that is 21. Wait, crap. There's got to be a better way of doing this. So 35 minus 79. 79. Hold on. 934. 44. I've concluded that I'm at 44. After some intense mathing, I concluded that I'm at 44. So 44, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Thanks for keeping track of me. Are you going to keep track the whole time? That would be really nice. Every time I do one, you just hit the number, make sure I keep it straight. But Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I thought had some cool emotions. I thought a lot of things was good, but it kind of same Scream 6 problem. It feels like the director was too attached to these characters to kill anyone off. The whole catch here is that a character is going to die. You're like, oh, one of them's going to die. And you're anticipating that, and by the end of the movie, you're just like, oh, one character doesn't die. And it's just like, oh, because it just feels like James Gunn is too attached to these characters, which was just a, that's fair. Because it was just a good thing that he likes these characters, but it just kind of feels like there's no stakes because nobody dies. It's so many fake out deaths in this movie. And same thing like Scream 6. It takes it from being a really great movie to kind of going downhill just a little bit. I believe that is my favorite MCU movie of the year, though. Well, yeah, obviously, because MCU movies aren't very good anymore. But 43, Extraction 2, another comic book movie. A lot of people don't... Oh, you saw my dogs for a second. I'm sorry. A lot of people don't think this is a comic book movie, but it's actually based off a comic. Extraction 2, I thought that it had great action. There's a 21-minute oneer, which is just a 1-minute action sequence with no visible cuts, and it looks awesome. The action was absolutely insane and looked perfect. The thing is, the whole movie, the story, I thought was pretty intriguing, but the end of the first movie had the character on a bridge, shooting him up, saving a lot of people. And the ending of this movie was in a barn. They're fighting one-on-one combat in a barn. Arguably, this movie's got bigger stakes, the bigger action sequences. He's literally fighting whole armies on top of big buildings. And where the first movie was kind of like this whole globe-trotting adventure, they're both just kind of massive. And the way you conclude this one is you're in a barn and you're fighting in a barn. And it's just kind of like the story, of course, just isn't perfect. So I thought the action was really good, though. And that's the big catch to that. The Boogeyman, this is a horror movie that is based off a Stephen King novel. And I thought it was fine. I didn't like how you could barely see the Boogeyman half the time. I felt like it was way too dark. But I like the characters. I think that Scared of the Dark sets them up for intriguing horror sequences that I thought really worked. It does the, oh, where are you? Where are you? Horror stuff. But I think this one kind of worked. This one kind of worked for that. So it's just a fine horror movie that kind of could have been, the monster could have been seen quite some more. No One Will Save You. I got some thoughts on this one. That's for sure. No One Will Save You is a movie about aliens. And the aliens are really cool. There's some cool horror sequences. I was freaking out for a lot of the time. I thought this was a really scary thriller. It really, 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 really worked. And then you get to the ending, and I had to Google what the meaning of the ending was. Basically, she's just dancing with one of the aliens in the end, and apparently it's supposed to be she's misunderstood, so now she's understood with the alien. I'm just kind of like, what is happening? If I had to Google it, what makes you think the general audience would be like? The general audience will probably sit there like, the heck just happened? What just happened? And that's well, I was sitting there. What in the world just happened? What was the point of this? And I thought it had some great horror sequences. I was really scared for a lot of the movie. And by the end of the movie, it's just really confusing. I'm like, what in the world just happened in this movie? Expendables 4, hot take, because a lot of you have in the bottom of your year. First Expendables movie I saw, I wasn't bothered by it. I thought it was a fun movie. I thought there was some cool, fun action sequences. I thought the cast was really fun. The action sequences were pretty cool to watch. And it's just a movie that me and my dad go to the movies quite often. And a lot of the times he's like, I just don't think I like new movies anymore. This was movies like, that was actually really fun. I was like, that was really fun. And I was enjoying myself. And I thought it was entertaining. It kind of worked as a movie. And in fact, I actually got the Steelbook for my birthday because my dad actually went. And he's like, yeah, we saw that movie. Get him. He's going to watch all the movies. And so that's what I did. I haven't seen him yet, but Expendables 4, I think, is just a really fun movie. I thought it really worked. So that would be 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39! Kicking off, or wait, I think I did this wrong. So this would be the 20th movie, but I'm not going to take a break. I'm going to do this whole row. The way I'm using it is on Letterboxd, to where you see there's 4 rows of movies, to where I'm going from up, down. So, I think people are home. Anyways, so this one is 39. 39, Operation Fortune, Ruggiero or whatever. It's a Guy Ritchie movie. I still have not seen The Covenant, by the way. That's a movie that I wanted to make my 80th movie of the year. I just haven't had time yet. Still plan on watching it before his next movie comes out. Operation Fortune, I think, was fun. It's got Jason Statham in it. It's got action sequences. It's got comedy. It just kind of works. It's a movie that you're there, you're watching it, you enjoy it just for a little bit, and then it's over. It's just kind of just like that fun action movie stuff that it's just entertaining. And I thought this one was an entertaining movie. Five Nights at Freddy's. This is a movie that either you love it or a lot of people didn't like it. For me, I never saw the movie. No, I saw the movie. It's on the ranking. I never played the games. I never done any of that. Never any was interested in the lore. This movie kind of made me interested in it. I was like, that's interesting. And it's just kind of creepy because you got a guy murdering children and putting them in animatronics. It's kind of creepy. I ain't even gonna lie. And I thought it just kind of worked. The stuff that it did kind of worked for me. And I thought it was particularly creepy at some times. Matthew Lillard wasn't the best part of the movie, but I still think it's a fine movie and a nice introduction to the franchise for me. Saw X. I'm a big Saw fan. I saw all the Saw movies before going to see this one, and I was a massive fan out of all of them. I absolutely loved all most of the Saw movies. So this one, I was just kind of like, this is kind of unique. This is kind of weird. And a lot of the times it was unique and weird for a good reason. I thought that the good reason being unique and weird worked out in its favor sometimes. But it's also just one of the Saw movies that I'd much rather watch some of the originals more. I thought the traps were cool. I thought a lot of things were cool about this movie. But I would much rather watch other Saw movies than watch Saw X on this ranking for me. And so I still thought it was fine. It was fun. It had some great moments in it here and there. And the twist at the end kind of undermined the whole movie. Like, you got to be very specific and you got to have some character armor to actually have the sequence. And so I was just kind of confused at the end. Also, they are making a new Saw movie, kind of a sequel to this one. I thought this one was fine, though. It's not my favorite Saw movie, but I thought it was fine. Last movie we're going to talk about before I'm going to go to the bathroom and not grab more water, but go to the bathroom, probably stretch my legs for a minute, is Transformers Rise of the Beasts. It's 36 right here. And Michael Bay makes Transformers movies, and he had the Michael Bay flair. I'm going to fix my camera real quick. It's crooked. It's kind of driving me nuts. Anyways, it's got the fun Michael Bay flair, but it also can be really offensive. Shows half-naked women all the time. You got big explosive action sequences, and nothing's basic. This movie, not Michael Bay directed, it's basic, and it doesn't have any of the fun flair of Michael Bay, but it also doesn't have the offensive that movie is mid. Exactly. That is the perfect word for this movie. It is middle of the road. Because you don't have the fun, great Michael Bay stuff, but you also don't have the stupid, offensive Michael Bay stuff. You just have Transformers that's fine. I thought the third act was really good. The rest of the movie, I was just like, that's a fine Transformers movie. It's just not as good as some of the Michael Bay movies can be, but it's also not as bad as some of the Michael Bay movies can be. So it's kind of interesting when you get to that notch. Okay, so after this, we are going to go... Okay, we will go until we actually start my top 20, and then we'll do my top 20, which top 20 will kind of be quicker because I've actually editing a whole video on my top 20 right now. Probably be out today or tomorrow. So there'll also be that. But we'll continue. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Leave your questions, the GOAT, or anybody else who's watching, because I will answer them. And his name is John Cena! Actually, no, it's just Zachary Dollar. That's my name. I'm back. I got 2 viewers. Second viewer. Say what's up. Not sponsored, but this is a good drink. You got any questions, Yotes? What's up? What's up, eh? All right. I'll give it to 12:05 for anybody to have any questions. Or next 2 minutes, because I know, well, I'll give it to 12:06 because it just turned 12:04 where I'm at. We're going to go from 35 until 20 on this list. So that'd be 15, but then we'll do my top 20 and then call it a day. So, just to clarify, from Insidious the Red Door to, I'd say, The Retirement Plan, I'd say those are bad movies. From Spider-Man Lotus to, let's go, They Clone Tyrone, maybe. As if those are on the same tier. They're good, or they're kind of more mid. Actually, let's go Spider-Man Lotus to, like, I don't know, Champions, because I like Shotgun Wedding. Well, no, it kind of doesn't match up, in my opinion. But from A Haunting in Venice to about where we're at now and some more, I'd say all these are good movies. And then from, I'd say, let's go, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The next 6 movies will still be on that same tier, and then from then on, I'd say that those are great. And I did talk about all of those in my top 20. Some of those were honorable mentions, but I think that this was just such a great year for cinema that there's so many great movies. There's also a few bad ones, but there's so many great movies that released this year. Hoping 2024 has even better year. All right, it's 12:05. We're gonna get started because clearly nobody has any questions for me. Equalizer 3 is next up at 34. This movie, for me, I saw the first Equalizer, was a fan of it. I thought there were some cool things, but it just takes too long to actually get anywhere. And by the third act, it's another act that I just didn't feel earned. This one, for me, kind of worked for me. It doesn't take forever to get anywhere. It's straight and narrow to the point to where it's just like, okay, we're there, and we're here. We get from here to there. Bam. Okay. In the movie. I thought it kind of works. There's some cool action sequences. The bad guys worked. Venice is treated as an actual person, so I thought it kind of worked. And so there's just some cool things, and I thought that it improved over all of my issues that I had with the first Equalizer. So kind of a surprising movie for me. The Meg 2, Trench. I know a lot of you hate this movie. I hated the first one, so, I mean, we're kind of flip-flopped. I did not like the first movie. I thought the pacing was bad. This movie, kind of ridiculous. You get the whole plot about you're trying to save the sea animals and oil rigs and all that. You get all that plot. When you get to the shark stuff and some stuff, I thought it was also pretty cool. There's some pretty cool things here that would have been cooler if it was rated R, but there's some pretty cool things here, some fun shark action that I had fun with it. And I also had fun with Jason Statham kicking some oh, Marie's here. What's up, Marie? The Meg is such a good movie, bro. I don't like the first Meg. I really don't like the first Meg. I'm sorry. But this one, I even had fun with Jason Statham kicking some butt, like some human butt. I thought that was pretty fun. So I had blast with this movie. My dad likes the first one better. I think I'm the only one who really likes this one better. Haunted Mansion. This is a new Disney movie based off a haunted attraction ride. First Haunted Mansion, I always watch it every year, but I'm just not. It's just not my favorite. I have some problems with pacing with it every year. But this Haunted Mansion, I thought it was really good. The cast is great. They are all funny together, and they all have fan-freaking-tastic chemistry. Some of the best chemistry ever put on a movie this year. It was really fun. But a big issue here with this one, I thought that kind of felt like quite often some scenes were missing here and there, but I thought it was just a fun movie and one of the more fun movies of the year for me. I thought the cast really worked. I just had a blast with this movie. Super Mario Bros. Is at, wait, that was 34, 33, 32. At 31. Super Mario Bros. Starting at 31. And this movie is a movie that Had the worst theater experience of my life. There's a little kid running around. I went on opening day. There's a little kid running around going, "Go Mario!" the whole time. And they were freaking out. "Go Mario! Go Mario!" And me and my friend were just like, let's take that child and let's punch it across the parking lot because it was getting so annoying. But I still thought it was fun. It's a Super Mario Bros. Movie that kind of just works. I thought the first act was kind of rushed, but the rest of it was just, it's for Mario fans. I grew up playing Mario. I'm 18 years old. I am not in my 40s. I was not around when the first Mario came up. My family was, and so we've always played that Mario. So I still grow up with that, and seeing all these Easter eggs was really, really kind of cool. And then also, the voice cast was fun, and the third act, when we go to Brooklyn, I think was really cool and really works. Peaches is a magnificent song. I just think that Super Mario Bros. Movie works on all cylinders for me. Kicking off our top 30, Heart of Stone. A lot of people hate this movie. It's a Gal Gadot-led action movie. Gal Gadot, for me, is an actress I really liked, and then I learned she's liberal and kind of a bunch of stuff going on there. Anyways, this movie I still think is fun. I still think is a fun action movie. Had some fun action movie scenes. You know, when we talked about the Outlaws earlier, well, no, I can't make this comparison because it wasn't like that. So it's just kind of fun. It's a spy movie that every time you get a twist, it kind of flips the whole movie around. I'm like, that's really cool. That's really good. Mario's good. I agree. You went with my brother to see it, actually. So Heart of Stone was, I think, had some cool action sequences. I think had some cool scenes there. The action was just fun, and that's the best thing you could say about action movie was that you were entertained and that the action was fun, and that's why Heart of Stone worked as a movie for me as a Gal Gadot action thriller. The Blackening. The goats. This movie's made for you. So a bunch of black people. Get this. I'll read the official synopsis. This is gonna be funny. A group of black people reunite for a Juneteenth weekend getaway, only to find themselves trapped in a remote cabin with a twisted killer, where they have to prove to themselves who is the blackest person among them. It's made for you. I don't think it does everything for that concept. I think that there's some cool things, but it's kind of just a movie that was explored and it was fun, and some of the twists and turns really worked. It's kind of like another Scream movie where kind of had the Scream twist. Scream twist really worked. I wouldn't compare it to Scream, but it kind of had that kind of aspect for me. And oh, my throat kind of hurts. It's starting to hurt. You know this part when you start smelling blood? Yeah, that's what's happening right now. I'm the blackest. You're the blackest, my boy. You're the blackest, my boy. Anyways, it just kind of has all that fun stuff that you like from it. I think it could have done more with the concept, but it was still a fun movie. Killers of the Flower Moon. This one is 3.5 hour long movie about the. Let me read the concept real quick. I'm sorry. Yeah, when oil was discovered in 1920s Oklahoma under Osage Nation, that's what I was thinking of. Osage people are murdered one by one. It tells a story. It's directed by Martin Scorsese, and I thought that it's pretty cool. I thought there's some pretty cool parts to it. Thought that there's some things. Oh, that's dangerous. Why are you doing that? I think that the cast was really good here. It's 3.5 hours long, so it's really not going to be for everybody. I was sitting down for 3.5 hours watching this movie, and I kind of was like, yeah, that could have been cut out. That could have been cut out. That could have been cut out. But I still think it was a solid movie. Oppenheimer, a new Christopher Nolan movie about the making of the atomic bomb. This was a movie that is one of Nolan's best for me. It doesn't have the emotions or anything, but it makes you scared. Like, with one press of the button now, you could destroy all of America. You could destroy everything with one press of a button at the government. And it's a movie that gets you scared there. Also, Cillian Murphy deserves Oscars. Everybody else deserves Oscars. These last two movies aren't necessarily movies that are made for me. They're not necessarily movies I was entertained by, but I still enjoyed them. I still thought there were some solid things here, and proves that Christopher Nolan still has one of his best movies up there, and I thought that Oppenheimer kind of worked for that. And so, also, I was just kind of like scared watching the movie, honestly. Joyride. This is a funny movie. So here's the thing. I know I said earlier with the Outlaws that when you're joking about crass humor like that, doesn't work. Humor still doesn't work for me in this one. I know I'm going to say something I regret, but the jokes about shoving cocaine up your butt and all that and banging the whole basketball team, it didn't work for me. I was just, oh, come on, get on with it. I didn't think it was funny. But when you get to the end of the movie, Where does Hunger Games rank? You'll see. You'll see. It's still got a ways to go. But you're sitting there and you're like, oh, get on with it. But when you get to the emotions and you get the emotions about her mother and her trying to find her mother, doesn't want to, and realizes her mother dies and watches that video, I was crying. I thought those emotions really worked. Also, it's this whole premise is just about friendship, and I thought that kind of worked for me. And it was just kind of emotional and kind of deep and made me a little sad. So while the humor doesn't work for me, I thought that it was great emotions that really worked. John Wick Chapter 4, movie that I thought the middle act was stupid. I thought that the middle act was kind of like, oh, okay. Okay, this is what we're doing here. Okay. I was kind of mad at the middle act because it felt lazy. Oh, we got another way John Wick can escape this group. Oh, okay. First and third act have some of the best action sequences. Second action sequence I didn't really like. But the first and third act are some of the best action sequences I've ever seen. Great action sequence. The scene with the cars and they're fighting in the cars and then the stairs, I think is amazing. And where John Wick ends up at, I thought was a great character arc, great way to end the story. The middle act, though, did not work for me whatsoever. Just felt lazy and repetitive for me. Another way that John Wick can escape the table. It just doesn't work for me. Indiana Jones and, well, okay. I'm not going to leave it at that. The middle act didn't work for me. The first and third act are amazing and some of the best movies that I've seen all year. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I really dug this one. I really liked this one. I think it had some of the best set pieces since the first Indiana Jones. I think Harrison Ford is fun and great. I feel like the whole movie is just fine. And not fine, but really fun. And just another good Indiana Jones movie. Till we get to the third act. The third act, for me, does not really work. Because it's kind of goes back in time travel and does all that. And then it almost makes one of the worst character arcs in human history. Oh, I'm just going to stay here. I'm going to stay here and do that. And I was kind of happy when they did. With the final scene with him and Marion made me cry because, by golly, I really like the Indiana Jones franchise. I thought that final scene was really emotional and really worked. It's just a solid Indiana Jones movie for me, though. Air. This is a movie about the Air Jordans. Making the Air Jordans. It's endlessly entertaining. Like, it's a movie that has such a great cast. Let me tell you the cast here real quick. It's got Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Jason Bateman, Viola Davis, Chris Tucker, Matthew Marr. There's some big names here that I was just like, oh, that really works. And they all have amazing chemistry. And I thought they were really, really fun together. And I thought that this is a movie about the making of the Air Jordans that was endlessly entertaining. I do think third act could have fleshed a lot more things out. It could have fleshed it out and made more sense in kind of a way that kind of wraps up the story in a nice way instead of just leaving you like, yeah, we met Michael Jordan, we made the Air Jordans, that's the end of the movie. Felt like kind of fleshed it out, but it's endlessly entertaining movie that really worked for me. Jesus Revolution. This is a movie about Jesus Revolution. I think the hippie guy is actually a guy who played Jesus in The Chosen. Yeah, it was. I thought the movie really worked for me. I'm a Christian. My faith is strong in God, so it was kind of just a Christian movie for me. Movie that my mom's like, watch this. I'm like, I got other stuff I can watch, but I'll watch it with you. And I just thought it worked as a drama. I thought it really worked. I don't think that there really needed to be a conflict here. There's kind of like a conflict like, oh, okay, yeah, they're bad guys. And yeah, you're only doing this for show now. And kind of like that. I don't feel like that really needed to be there, but it was there. And I still thought it had some emotions and was pretty good and a surprising movie for me because I didn't really have any interest in this one. I thought it really worked. Let me take a drink. We're going to do 3 more, and then I'm not going to leave my room. I'm going to stand up, walk around for a bit because my legs are starting to cramp up, and then we'll continue on to our top 20 of 2023. I thought I'd be here for 3 hours. We're almost done, and I've only been streaming for an hour and 4 minutes. That is crazy. That is crazy. Oh, that hit the spot. All right, Redfield is 23 on this. What would you have recommended instead of the conflict for Jesus Revolutions? Just no conflict. It was like a feel-good story about them. Hold on, let me read the premise. Refresh my mind. It's been a while since I've seen this. Yeah, for the big revivals. You could have just shown the big revivals, but then you're kind of just like, oh yeah, but and it kind of just makes the pastor be kind of a jerk. Like he's like, I know you're doing all these great things in God, but yeah, let's kind of kick you out. And it kind of made like that did not need to be here. You didn't need to do that. Kind of didn't work for me. But I still think that it's just a great movie. It's kind of a great movie about Jesus and kind of got emotional because I've been part of revivals like that, and it's awesome. Jesus Revolution. All right, listen here, buddy. Okay, I get it. I get it. Me and your mom probably just forced us each to watch it to go. It's like, I'm not even going to lie. I didn't want to watch this movie. My mom kind of forced me to watch it. I had a good time with it. I thought it did a lot of things right as a film critic, also as a Christian. But I can see why you would have hated it because typically I like going to church. Typically, when I'm watching movies, I don't like to be preached through movies. Same thing with The Exorcist Believer. I don't like being preached. That's why I didn't like it. Well, I thought it was fun, but because I don't like being pushed through movies. This one I thought did it well. So moving along from Jesus Revolution, we got Renfield. It says Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult. Jesus Revolution. Yep, I had to watch it. Oh, I know. I know you did because I know your mother and I know she would force you to watch it. But like I said, I don't like being preached at through a screen, honestly. Anyways, I'm gonna try to move on from this. And on the break, you could ask me some more questions about that movie. Renfield, though, is a Nicolas Cage, Nicholas Hoult. Nicolas Cage is Dracula. And it's really fun. It's got some fun action sequences. It's pretty funny. On the internet, I saw some people like the movie, but all of a sudden they're kind of turning on it. It's kind of crazy, but it's kind of fun, kind of funny, and really entertaining for me. It's just one of those movies that is just fun. I saw this one when I went on vacation to a city about 2 hours away from here, and I still had a blast with it. Hey, we got 3 viewers now. That's a record for today. But I still had a blast with Renfield, and I still think it was a fun movie. Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. You'd remember this one, Marie. I thought this one was fun too. I really want this to be my top 20. I really wish people went to go see this movie because now nobody really went to see it, and it's just a fun movie. It's really fun. It's got a great cast that have great chemistry with each other. The action was really fun. The story was just fine. I thought that the kind of emotions in the end with losing the mother, I thought was worked really well. It's a Dungeons and Dragons movie. I've never played Dungeons and Dragons. I'm not the correct audience for this one, and I thought this one was fun. I thought it was just a fun movie, and I thought it really worked. And the last movie we're gonna talk about before I can stretch my legs, Fast X. I know a lot of you hate the Fast Furious or more recent ones, for sure. They recently came out that Fast X Part 2 is gonna have like kind of going back to the original movie. I don't know what that means. I mean, after the twist, I don't know what that means. So, but Fast 9, Fast 8, they didn't work for me. After Fast 7, I was like, this is a broken franchise. And this goes back to the magic of where Fast 5, Fast 6, Fast 7 were. Hold on a minute. Okay. To where you get great action sequences, you get fun characters, you get it kind of goes to the Affinity War route, you know, where you get all these characters that you love, you go have different plot lines, and when something bad happens in the end, you're like, oh no. And it just kind of made me leave the theater like, I'm excited for the next one. I cannot wait to go see the next movie on this. I was super hyped for this, and I thought the movie really worked, specifically because I don't like the other ones. All right, we're to top 20. Top 20 of the year. What did I just do? Okay. So I lied. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna walk around for a bit. If you got any questions about Jesus Revolution or any other movies, let me know. I will be back in about 30 seconds. Oh, it feels so good to stretch my legs though. I've been sitting here 9 minutes, so I'll be back. Yeah, I just had to blow my nose. Allergies suck. Allergies suck. Probably should have grabbed another drink. Did you mention any other Marvel projects yet? I missed a whole hour of the live. All of them. I mentioned all of them. So, I'll go back real quick, let you know where they're at. Now I'm going to go grab something to drink, and then we'll continue on the live stream, unless anyone else has any questions. Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania was my second worst movie of the year. The Marvels was mid-50s for me. I thought it was fine. Guardians of the Galaxy was about... that would be 45. Oh, 44. 44 was Guardians of the Galaxy 3, because me and DeGoats had a conversation on that. So 44 was Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and that was... I believe that's it. Haven't got to Across the Spider-Verse yet, so that's the only one I haven't got to. But, yeah. Again, not a great year for the MCU. So I got 1, 2, 3... No, that's not a comic book movie. 3, 4, 5... There's still 6 comic book movies in my top 20. So besides the MCU, it was a good year for comic book movies, I think. All right, I'm going to go grab something to drink. Allergies are worse today, honestly. They're bad. They're really bad. What's up, people? Y'all ready for the top 20? New Propel. It was berry flavored. I can't wait for Thunderbolts. It starts filming this year. I know, me neither. The only thing that sucks about it is Steven Yeun walked away. If you don't know who Steven Yeun is, he's clearly the best character on The Walking Dead. I mean, it's not even close. He is one of the best characters on The Walking Dead. I'm sad that he had to go, not be in Sentry no more. And so, but the movie's going to be awesome, hands down, I hope. Deadpool 3 coming out this year could fix the MCU. I really am excited for Deadpool 3. All right. Top 20. I've seen 79 movies this year. This is the top 20 of them all. This has been a great year for cinema. All these are absolutely amazing movies. And so I'm kind of fanboy about them all. Anyways, let's get started, everybody, with top 20 of 2023. The Holdovers. Or, yeah, 2023. I was about to say 2024. It's 2024 now. The Holdovers. At number 20, this is a new Alexander Payne movie. It stars Paul Giamatti, who also deserves an Oscar. He's really great. And it's just about him and a kid at school. And they stay at school over the summer. It kind of got emotions, and it could be fun. It's got dialogue that is insanely funny. I was not expecting to laugh out loud as much as I did in this movie. It was funny, thought it was charming, and I thought the cast was absolutely great and deserved Oscars. I thought they had a great chemistry with each other. I just think this one was solid. It's a movie that I watched it after Christmas. I was like, I don't want to watch this movie anymore, but I will, because I also got invited to go see it early, but I never got the chance to. But I was like, I'll watch it because I need to watch it. And it just kind of got me the Christmas spirit again. It really worked for all it did. It was a good movie. No! No! No, they canceled practice? No, come on. Again? Too bad we're the best team in the league. I'm sorry. Me and the Goats are on the same basketball team. So we're the best team in the league. We're 2-0, obviously. We were losing 14-0 the first quarter. And part of that was my fault. Hands down. But we kind of came back. We won 40-27. So, wait, was it 21 or 27? I think it was 21. And part of our win was my fault at the end, right? Had a couple good defensive plays, honestly. Okay, 19, The Flash. It is a DCEU movie, and I think I sided with James Gunn. Every one of James Gunn's movies that he said some of the best comic book movies of all time, I think really worked. This and Blue Beetle. This movie in particular, I get it, CGI sucks, but at its core, it's a story about a guy and trying to save his mom. Which kind of works there. But through the whole process, you just don't need CGI battles every 5 seconds. All you need is Ezra Miller and Ezra Miller having great chemistry with each other. I know it's weird to say that considering he's a bad person, but they have great chemistry with each other. And when the action's good, it's good. At the end, it's very good. 21 and we versus the other undefeated. Oh, we do? Oh, that's going to be a good game. Anyways, stay on track here. I think it was fun and it worked as a solid movie. And it just works in every ounce that it does, besides the CGI. There's just so many cool action sequences that work. The chemistry between them really work. It's a comic book movie that is just special and unique and really works for me. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. This movie right here, it's the first movie on my pile. I'm not going to dare move anyone else. I'll just move this one. Because I also have behind here, I have Fast X, Scream 6, Transformers Rise of the Beasts. What's that other one? That's Atomic Blonde. I have a WandaVision Steelbook there. Gran Turismo's there too. We'll talk about that in a minute. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. It's a movie that, besides one part where kind of felt rushed in the end just a little bit, to where all of a sudden they walk up to all these people like, you could stay with us and stay away from the humans. Okay, that's cool. But it also, it felt like a dream. It just didn't work. But besides that, it's a solid Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. It's a unique spin on the Turtles where it has great animation. The whole movie, you're sitting there like, I want these Turtles to succeed because they're actually cast as teenagers and really work. There's some emotions. And when you get Shredder at the very, very end, you are excited and you cannot wait for more of this universe. This is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe that I cannot wait to see more of. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is so good. I agree. It was very good. It was a very good movie. And so I think it really works. Thanksgiving is number 17. This is a horror movie by Eli Roth where a guy in a John Carver mask starts killing people. And it's another, this and the next movie are two Scream movies that aren't Scream movies, but they're better than the Scream movie we got this year because it kills off people. This one, the first 2 acts, just kind of basic. I was like, okay. Third act, Eli Roth really shines. He got a part where he cooks people in ovens alive and makes them eat them. I'm like, oh, that's gross, but I love it so much. And it kind of works. The kills were cool and unique. My dad watched it. He was just dying laughing most of the movie. I just think this one was really fun and really worked. And as a Scream movie, I feel like this worked more than the Scream movie that worked, that was released this year. Totally Killer at number 16. This is a movie that's just another one where it's about a guy in a mask killing people, but it works more than the Scream movie got this year because it kills off people instead of just leaving them alive. Okay. And I also thought the twist here really worked. It was really funny through the whole thing. The twist, it kind of leans into the lore and kind of was self-focused. It's basically Back to the Future, but it's a slasher. And it really works, and it's really, really fun, and I really enjoyed it. And the comedy really works as well. The cast is really great in this movie. I just think that this one really works. And these are two non-Scream movies that are better than the Scream movie that released this year. I'm going to check my battery life real quick. Holy crap, I'm already at 38. Oh my gosh. That's insane. I was at 90, and I'm already at 38. Anyways, you're going to be happy, Goats. You're going to be happy. Hunger Games, Battle of Songbirds and Snakes is at number 15. Let this one work. Thought the third act could have been fleshed out way more than it actually was. Because, Snow was all of a sudden, oh, I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna be the Empire, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm gonna go do the Empire now, and I was just like, okay, that's kind of crazy. And some of the ideas here could have been way fleshed out at the end of the movie. That didn't work. But the first two acts were some of the best Hunger Games stuff we got. Y'all convinced me to watch the Hunger Games movies before this one, so I binged them all in a week, and I really liked them. Hunger Games sucked. No, it didn't. It was a good movie. Anyways, I just thought it really worked. I thought it was really, the first two acts were really good. It has the best Hunger Games stuff that we've ever seen. I think that the Hunger Games in the first movies didn't really work that much, but the Hunger Games in this movie worked really, really well and really, really worked. I liked the romance between Snow and Lucy Gray. I liked a lot of things. I just think it needed to flesh it out in the end, and this could have been a top 10 movie of the year, but I thought it really worked. Marie also really liked the movie. Marie was freaking out the entire time when I saw it with her, and that's crazy. So, Evil Dead Rise is next. I'm going to take a drink real quick. Evil Dead Rise. This is the newest Evil Dead, and it's the best one. It is hands down the best one for me. It's creepy. It's got great cinematography. There's a scene where you go through the people, and you just see the mom just like, I'm here. I'm going to kill you. And I was like, oh, that's creepy. So many creepy scenes really worked. The CGI, it was all just great. It works as an Evil Dead movie. It was creepy. It's short and straight to the point. When you get to the final twist where all these people with the heads are coming at you, like, oh my gosh, that is creepy and insane, and I was creeped out. What the heck is going on outside? Y'all hear that rumbling? Whoops. Oh, I just dropped literally everything outside. That was a stupid question. My brother was home and bringing the trash cans up, and it sounded like a freaking tornado outside, shaking everything up. Anyways, it's just so creepy, and it's short and straight to the point, and like, oh my god, everything just fell. Everything is gone. Everything just fell. Anyways, like the Evil Dead remake from 2013 was just like, it was really creepy, but kind of gets a bit too fanfiction-y. This one was short, straight to the point, and didn't do anything that offends me. Wonka is the next movie. Biggest surprise of the year for me. Thought this one really worked. Hey, I got 3 viewers. So, anyways, Wonka is biggest surprise of the year at number 13, maybe. Yeah, it's at number 13. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Stay tuned. I'm back. Sorry, everybody. My family got home. I had to go save my dogs from killing each other. So, how's everyone doing? Alright, anyways, Wonka. Thought it really worked. I thought it really, really worked. It's a family movie of the year. It, it's a movie. I'm sorry, let me regain my bearings real quick. We all know it's a movie, that's for sure. Wonka really, really, really worked for me because it's a movie that has emotions. It's a movie that was just charming and fun. Timothée Chalamet is perfect. I'm not the biggest musical person. I like musicals, but I'm not the biggest one. And I thought the musical numbers were great. I thought the direction was great. Some of the emotions were great. There's a whole subplot about this little girl and her father and her family that was really emotional. And I don't like Willy Wonka movies at all. I didn't like the trailer for this movie at all. I was not looking forward to this movie, and I walked out of the theater saying this is one of the best movies of the year. And hands down, after this movie, I just kind of got nostalgic because I never liked Willy Wonka, but the song at the end was just kind of emotional and nostalgic and great. It's the family movie of the year. This one really worked. I'm gonna catch my breath real quick. I was running to the door and I had to run back, so get back to recording. Uh, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 is number 12. This is a movie that was in mid-20s. I thought it was good when we first walked out, but I had some issues with it. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, once I rewatched it, I think works much better because it's a movie that has everything going at you. You got these people going after Hunt, you got these people going after Hunt, you got these people all going after, and it's just kind of like, oh, well, okay, who's that? It's kind of hard to keep up with it. And so when you're able to pause it, kind of refresh your memory, like, okay, I got this. I know what's happening. Kind of just made it such a smoother experience and kind of worked better than it did. There's my dog again. But I thought the action sequences were great. The villain was great. The AI part was great. I love this guy. This guy? What's this guy? I don't know what that is. Me? Message retracted. You deleted your message, Wesley? How could you? Anyways, Mission Impossible. I love this guy. There we go. Thank you, man. I love you too. Damn me up. There we go. Anyways, I think this one really worked. The action was great. Everything about this movie worked really, really, really good. And so it was good. The Killer, it's a new David Fincher movie. It's at number 11. Thought this one really also worked. I'm not the biggest Fincher fan, but what he does here is absolutely insanely great. The Killer, it shows you what it's like to be a contract killer, and you're like, the whole movie, he gets people to help him. He's like, oh, okay, you got to follow this rule book, but he doesn't want to. He wants to. You can feel that he wants to quit being a killer. I figured that out, Wesley. I already know. Anyways, so the whole movie's trying to be like, give him a redeeming character arc, and he snaps and he kills a person. Okay, they're dead. Then he snaps and he kills another person, and just kind of like, oh, okay, and it's brutal. The one action sequence we get was brutal. By the end of the movie, when he actually leaves somebody alive, you're like, okay, that kind of works. And it's just a movie that works. It's interesting, it's intense, and Michael Fassbender plays one of the greatest characters of the year. Shut up. No, you shut up, boy. This would kick off, top 10. We're on our top 10. Top 10 of 2023. Here it is. Top 10 is Nimona. You heard of Nimona? I didn't think so. Nobody really heard about this movie except me on Twitter a couple times. What is everybody freaking out for on the chat? Woo, what do you mean, Marie? Have you heard of Nimona? It's basically but a lot of people on Twitter recommended this movie to me. I went and checked it out. I thought it worked. I thought it worked really, really well. The animation was beautiful. There's some emotions at the end of the movie that really worked. The twist was like, oh wow, that's good. Because it's top 10. Oh yeah, LeBron James. Thanks to Goats. Anyways, so some of the emotions really worked, and the animation was beautiful. The cast was great. It was funny. It was charming. It was emotional. And it's just a movie that I cannot recommend to people enough. People have not seen this movie, and people need to check this out. It worked really well. Knock at the Cabin, the new M. Night Shyamalan movie. I'm not an M. Night Shyamalan fan. Never was. Never probably will be. But this is a movie that I think of his really, really worked for me. I really did like this movie because it's straight and narrow to the point. It's not a movie about, I'm emotional too. Why? I'm going to try to ignore the comments until the very end of the video so we can get this done. It's straight and to the point. It doesn't have a twist that completely undermines everything and ruins the movie. It's straight to the point, and it just like it's focused. Dave Bautista puts on a performance of a lifetime. You care about this family. You don't want them to die, but you know they have to. And when you get to the end, when they make a decision to it, you're just kind of like, oh, okay. And it's emotional and it works. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, the movie didn't work because it didn't have a twist. I thought the movie worked because it did have a twist, and it worked very, very well for Knock at the Cabin to be an M. Night movie that I think just really works, and one of his best for me. Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle was a great movie. It was such a good movie. First two acts, I felt like I could have used more Blue Beetle. I really did. But I really like the family chemistry. But it feels like for a Blue Beetle movie, you needed to show Blue Beetle more. When you get the third act, it really worked. They lose somebody, so you get the emotions on that. You get the family that's trying to rescue Jaime, and then you get Jaime just going full Blue Beetle mode, and it's great. This movie is so good that it takes up thoughts to a throwaway villain, Carapax, where he's just a big robot guy. Give him the emotions. He's back in the war. He completely is just being used. And when he gets the sacrifice at the end, you feel it and you're like, oh, that was a good sacrifice. Where it just really, really works. Where the family's great. It's hilarious from beginning to end. The action set pieces are great. This is hands down one of the best comic book movies of the year. And I think anybody should check this one out. Cocaine Bear. Funniest movie of the year. Hands down for me. Me and my brother watched this one. And he will even tell you, it is hilarious. From beginning to end, we were dying laughing the whole time. I absolutely love this movie. Just the whole time, it's hilarious. CGI is great. The cast is great. It's just so funny that I cannot begin to describe how funny I thought this movie was through beginning to end. I know I'm kind of a sucker for thinking this movie's funny, but I personally do. So, Missing. This is a spiritual sequel to Searching, which is a movie where they're trying to find the was it a missing daughter? Yeah, missing daughter through the computer screen. This one, the daughter's trying to find her missing mother. I mean, not saying characters or anything. I got 5 viewers now. It's crazy. Finally, I'll show up. But anyways, Missing is it just kind of worked for me. From the first act and so, I was like, this is interesting. Kind of more of the same Searching stuff. I like Searching. I thought it was fine, but I wasn't the biggest fan of it. But when we get to the end, you're like, oh, that's intense. When you get to the reveals and you know the people and you know that they're going to, you know that they could die at any moment, and you know that person could die at any moment, and the reveals are intense and they're really crazy. And I sat there through the whole movie like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, this is actually going down. And I was freaking out because I was like, this is crazy. This is actually crazy. So, and it just has all the payoff, especially when he gets caught and the movie's over. You get the payoff, and you feel the emotional payoff to that as well. It's just a thriller movie that had me intense. I was super scared through the whole movie, and I thought it really, really worked. Top 5 now. Top 5. Wesley Duncan, if you say what you doing one more time, I swear. We're at top 5 now. If anybody has any questions, because we got 5 viewers right now, now it's time to ask them before we cap off this video with my top 5 of 2023. I'll give you 1 minute till 12:48. I'm live streaming, Wesley. That's what I'm doing. Okay. All right. Anybody got any questions? I'm gonna stretch out my leg real quick. Top 5 movies. Let me know, what are you guys' top 5? I've answered this. I'm live streaming. Look. Anyways, what are your guys' top 5 of the year? What are your top 5 favorite movies of the year? All right. Colby Duncan. Colby Duncan. Hey, yo. Yo, I'm not going to say that. Wow. Them dogs, bruh. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. It's terrible. I'll block all of you if you say what you do one more time. You stop saying stuff over there? I will block every single one of you except Marie if you don't stop spamming. Just so you know. Yeah, I know, Marie. He's kind of messed up. Not even gonna lie. Okay, here we go. Top 5. Y'all ready for this? Clearly you guys aren't, because you keep asking me what you doing. Dab, bro. Perfect dab right there. Number 5, Godzilla Minus One. This is a Japanese Godzilla movie, and I'm going to block you guys. I really will. Anyways, I'm just going to ignore you for now. Godzilla Minus One. This is a brand new Godzilla movie. I didn't know what it was. Thought it was on Netflix. Thought it was something. And then you get all the film critics reviewing it, and they're like, "This movie's great. This movie is great." And I was so excited to see this. I saw the trailer. I was freaked out by it. I thought Godzilla looked absolutely great. And he really does. The CGI is great. The characters are great. It's a movie about Godzilla, but the characters are great. It's a movie about the war-struck Japanese, where they're trying to save themselves from war anymore, and Godzilla comes and starts destroying stuff. And so you're like, oh, okay. You're rooting against Godzilla the whole time. It puts the MonsterVerse to shame, where the MonsterVerse is just like, Godzilla, Titan God, we love Godzilla. No, Godzilla actually is freaky. And watching this movie made me hate the MonsterVerse, because this movie does everything so well and so great. Godzilla CGI looks great. The action is absolutely great. The cast is great. The emotions about just war-struck Japan and them trying to revive themselves. You care about the characters and you don't want anything bad to happen, and it really works as a Godzilla movie. Gran Turismo. This is a brand new race car movie that through the whole movie, I thought it was just going to be good. Thought it was good through the whole movie. And then you get something. And you think that the movie's going to be over in about 10, 15 minutes. Then something happens. And that just downward spirals the whole movie to go to emotional point, to emotional point, to emotional point. Where I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually insane. And I was freaking out the whole time. And I was like, this is actually great. And kind of almost made me cry, especially with him and the emotions with his dad. Kind of worked here, and I thought it was just really emotional as a story of just a race car driver. The whole cast is great. It casts David Harbour and doesn't have him just not speak like We Have a Ghost, which is in my bottom 10. But it's a movie that has everything. It captures everything just great with great emotions, and I thought the movie really worked from beginning to end. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is number 3. These 3 movies, actually these 4 movies right here, are these movies I can all put at number 1 any given day. I think all these movies are masterpieces. Across the Spider-Verse, obviously, for the obvious reasons. This movie is an amazing movie, hands down, from beginning to end. The animation is great. It's crazy. It's a story about Spider-Man. Spider-Man sucks. You suck, actually. This is why nobody loves you, okay? Because Spider-Man does not suck. Anyways, Across the Spider-Verse, the animation is great. The voice cast is great. The action... The action is great. It's a story about Spider-Man being Spider-Man, where you don't have to have all these action sequences, but what makes Spider-Man tick, and what makes Spider-Man tick is you lose somebody. And the movie is like, you don't want to lose these people. And so when you get to the plot twist where the cliffhanger where you're like, oh my gosh, that was great. You can't wait for this next movie. You're super excited for this next movie, and you think that it will be great. And it is... this movie is just hands down great. The best comic book movie of the year. One of the best comic movies of all time. It's so good, so emotional, and really works from beginning to end. The Creator. This is number 2. This is one of my favorite movies of the year. It was my favorite movie of the year until about 3 days ago, actually. 3 days ago, I watched my favorite movie of the year. But The Creator really works for me because it is a sci-fi movie that is reminiscent of old sci-fi movies. When you can make a sci-fi movie, where you can make a sci-fi movie that didn't need to be a part of something, or didn't need to be a big action sequence, or not that, but it didn't need to be a big CGI battle thing. It's a sci-fi action movie with sci-fi action stuff that it just feels classical, and you're like, this is something I could watch all day. From beginning to end, I was thinking to myself, please don't do something bad in the end. Please don't do something bad in the end. And it doesn't. It's just straight to the point. Don't say anything, Colby Duncan. But it's just straight to the point to where it's a whole thing about stopping the robots, and you're rooting for the robots, but you also want the humans to win. It just kind of works. The action sequences are great. The emotions at the end are great. It's a straight, narrow action movie where Gareth Edwards, for me, proves again why he has to be one of the best directors working in the business. I love this movie. I thought it was great, and I cannot recommend this one enough. But we're going number 1. Talk to Me. It's a horror movie. Best horror movie of the year. Best movie of the year. Because just the sheer amount of times that I think about this movie every day since watching it, I was like, God, that was such a good movie. That was such a good movie. And It's great. If you don't know what this is, basically you have a dismembered hand. You touch the hand and say, talk to me. You see one spirit, and the spirit possess you and talk to people outside of you. And first scene in the movie, I just explained it, Wesley Duncan. And so I sat there and I was like, through the whole movie, I was like, or for the first scene, I was like, oh, this is great. This is going to be top 20 for sure. And then the next scene, I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And then you get hope for the next 40 minutes. You get hope. You're feeling hopeful that this could be an emotional movie and get some creepy moments. And then something bad happens. And if you know, you know. And the movie just goes downhill spiral to where you were just shocked after shocked after shocked to where there's no light at the end of the tunnel. You don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. This is nobody wins in this situation. You're freaked out the whole time to where you get to the end and you know what they have to do. Like, you're screaming at the TV, don't do it. You don't want them to do it. And then when they don't do it, you feel the success, but it also comes at a price. Toward the very final twist of the movie, I just can't stop thinking of this movie every day. And I think about this movie every day, and I think it works every day on just such a fantastic level to where Talk to Me is hands down the best movie of the year. And I know a lot of you probably don't like horror movies like this, but for me, it just works really, really well. All right, 79 movies ranked in only an hour and 41 minutes. I am shocked. I know I didn't watch a whole bunch of movies. I still didn't see the, what's it called? The Covenant. But for me, I'm a film critic, and I have not seen this much movies in a year. So that was kind of crazy, and I really liked it, and I'm going to do more in 2024. All right. Thank you guys for clicking on this live stream. Thanks to everyone who's commenting except Colby Duncan, because it's Colby Duncan. And so, anyways, shut up, Wesley. I hate all my friends. I need to get rid of all my friends. Anyways, yeah, this has been a live stream, hour 42-minute live stream. I'm hungry. I'm going to go eat a sandwich or something. Thank you guys for clicking on this one. And with that said, stay tuned for some more on my channel. Stay tuned for some more stuff. I need to refresh my mind. Stay tuned for some more end of the year lists. I got the comic book movies ranked, and I'm still working on the top 20, and then the TV shows ranked. I got all those coming up. And with that said, before Wesley could say I got a tiny PP one more time, I'm going to say bye. And thanks for clicking on this video. Peace out.